pressure, and pressure is not romantic. Pressure is a threat signal. A woman's nervous system reads it as, this person wants something from me, and he may not handle no well. Even if you're a good man, even if you mean well, that subtle emotional hunger changes the entire emotional atmosphere. Now here's where it gets interesting. If desire can't be forced, what can you do? You can awaken it. And desire is awakened when three things appear at the same time: emotional safety, curiosity, and emotional stimulation. Emotional safety means she feels no obligation, no manipulation, no guilt, no urgency. Curiosity means she senses depth, self-control, and a personality that isn't trying to perform for her approval. Emotional stimulation means she feels something shift inside her. Not because you begged, but because you showed a calm confidence that doesn't need her to validate it. That's why the men who spark desire aren't always the loudest, richest, or flashiest. They're the ones who make a woman feel relaxed, intrigued, and emotionally awake. Without chasing her, without cornering her, and without trying to win her like a prize. Most women don't respond to neediness because neediness doesn't feel like love. It feels like pressure. And this is where many men get confused. They think showing a woman how much they like her will make her feel special. But what a woman often feels instead is responsibility. She feels like she's being placed in a position where she has to manage your emotions, your expectations, your disappointment, and your reaction if she doesn't give you what you want. Neediness is not just asking for attention. It's an emotional posture. It's the energy of please choose me, please validate me, please don't leave, even if you never say those words. And women are extremely sensitive to this energy. They can feel it in your tone, your timing, your texting patterns, your over-explaining, your constant availability, and the way you react when they pull back. That's why neediness kills attraction so fast. It signals instability. It signals insecurity. It signals that your identity is tied to her response. Grounded confidence, on the other hand, feels emotionally clean. It feels safe. It feels like you're interested, but not desperate. It feels like you have standards. It feels like you can handle rejection without becoming cold, bitter, or trying to punish her. And that is rare. A woman doesn't want to feel like she's your entire world when she hasn't even earned a place in it yet. She wants to feel chosen, yes, but she also wants to feel that you are choosing from strength, not from emptiness. A lot of men confuse attention with attraction, and this misunderstanding destroys their chances before anything even begins. Because a woman can give you attention for many reasons that have nothing to do with desire. She might be polite. She might be bored. She might enjoy the conversation. She might like the validation. She might even like you as a person. But none of that automatically means she feels that pull, that tension, that spark. Attention is easy. Attraction is selective. And here's the dangerous part. When a man mistakes attention for attraction, he starts escalating too quickly. He starts assuming intimacy. He starts texting more. He starts flirting harder. He starts acting like he already has a place in her life. And that sudden shift often makes a woman emotionally retreat because now she feels like the interaction comes with expectations. Attraction has a different signature. It's not just her responding, it's her investing, it's her trying to stay connected, it's her curiosity about you, not just her willingness to talk. It's when she remembers small things, asks follow-up questions, creates opportunities to see you again, or subtly tries to keep your focus on her. It's when she doesn't just accept your attention, but she starts earning it. This is why you have to stay grounded and observant. Don't get hypnotized by a woman's friendliness. Don't get intoxicated by a few laughs, quick replies, or long conversations. A woman can give you a lot of attention while feeling zero attraction. And if you misread it, you will start chasing a fantasy, and she will start pulling away. A woman becomes curious when you stop chasing because chasing tells her everything too quickly. It removes tension. It removes mystery. It removes the emotional space where desire quietly forms. And most importantly, chasing communicates that you are trying to earn her instead of simply offering yourself and letting her choose. When a man chases, he's constantly proving. He's constantly available. He's constantly trying to keep her interest alive with effort. But psychologically, that puts the woman in the powerful position of being the judge, while you become the auditioning candidate. And once a woman unconsciously feels that dynamic, she starts taking you less seriously. Not because she's evil, not because she's cold, but because your energy is telling her, I don't have options. I don't have standards. I will accept whatever you give me. Leading is different. Leading means you still show interest, but you do it with calm direction. You speak like someone who already has a life. You invite, you don't beg. You suggest, you don't chase. You move forward with confidence, but you're not emotionally dependent on the outcome. And here's the psychological trigger. When you stop chasing, her brain doesn't get the constant reassurance that you're still there. That tiny uncertainty forces her to think. And when she starts thinking about you, she starts emotionally engaging with you. That's where curiosity begins. Not in your compliments, not in your long texts, not in your explanations, but in the quiet question her mind starts asking when you don't over-pursue. Why is he so calm? Mystery and self-control trigger desire because they create emotional tension. And tension is the engine of attraction. Most men don't understand this. They think being clear means telling her everything, how much they like her, what they want, how serious they are, how loyal they'll be, how they've never felt this way before. And while that might sound romantic in movies, in real life it often kills the spark because it removes uncertainty too fast. A woman's mind is not turned on by a man who spills everything. It's turned on by a man who reveals himself slowly. Not because he's playing games, but because he has emotional discipline. He doesn't overshare. He doesn't over-pursue. He doesn't rush intimacy. And that restraint is deeply attractive because it signals maturity, strength, and control. Self-control also tells her something powerful. You're not driven by impulse. You're not desperate for approval. You're not trying to take from her emotionally. And that makes her feel safe, which is a major requirement for desire. Mystery isn't about hiding your personality. It's about not being predictable. It's about not handing her your entire emotional world on day one. It's about having depth, having boundaries, having a life, and letting her discover you layer by layer. Because when a woman feels like she's still figuring you out, her mind stays engaged. And when her mind stays engaged, her emotions start following. That's how desire grows, quietly, naturally, and without you needing to chase it. Women are highly sensitive to emotional pressure because pressure doesn't feel like attraction. It feels like a demand. And even when a man thinks he's being romantic, what a woman often experiences is an invisible expectation hanging in the air. An expectation to reply quickly. An expectation to reassure him. An expectation to match his energy. An expectation to give him a chance. An expectation to explain herself if she's not feeling it. And here's the key psychological point. The moment a woman feels pressure, her nervous system shifts into protection mode. She becomes cautious, she becomes guarded, she becomes less playful, less open, less emotionally available. Not because she's cruel, but because her brain is designed to detect risk. Emotional pressure can look subtle. It can be over-texting. It can be, "Where were you?" It can be, "Why are you acting different?" It can be constant compliments that feel like you're trying to buy her interest. It can be asking for commitment too early. It can even be excessive niceness that comes with a hidden contract. "I've been good to you, so you should like me." That's why pressure shuts attraction down instantly. Desire requires freedom. It requires a woman to feel like she is choosing you, not being pushed toward you. The more she feels like you need her to respond a certain way, the more she will emotionally pull back. If you want to spark desire, you have to remove the weight. You have to make your interest feel light, confident, and emotionally safe. Because when a woman feels no pressure, she can actually feel her own feelings. And that's where attraction has room to grow. Social proof and personal purpose make a man more desirable because they communicate value without him needing to announce it. And women don't just respond to what you say, they respond to what your life says about you. If your world looks empty, if your identity looks dependent, if your energy looks like it's waiting for her to give you meaning, she will feel that. And it will quietly lower attraction. Social proof is not about being famous. It's not about showing off. It's about a woman seeing that other people respect you, enjoy you, and want you around. It signals that you're socially safe, emotionally stable, and not a risky investment. Because when a woman sees you are liked, trusted, and valued by others, her brain relaxes. She stops wondering if there's something off about you. Personal purpose is even more powerful. A man with purpose has direction, he has ambition, he has standards, he has discipline, and most importantly, he is not easily distracted by a woman's approval. He doesn't abandon his priorities just because she gives him attention. That is extremely attractive because it signals strength. Women are drawn to men who are building something, not men who are begging for something. When your life has momentum, your energy becomes magnetic, not because you're trying to impress her, but because you're already in motion. And that motion creates gravity. That's why the most desirable men don't chase women. They attract women by being the kind of man whose life already has meaning, with or without her. The fastest way to spark desire is to make her feel something, because attraction is emotional first, logical second. Most men try to convince a woman with words. They explain why they're a good guy. They list their qualities. They try to prove loyalty, seriousness, stability, and commitment. And while those things matter later, they rarely create the initial spark. Because a spark is not a decision, it's a reaction. A woman can logically admit that you are attractive, respectful, and a good option, and still feel nothing. Why? Because desire is not built through reasoning. Desire is built through emotional experience. It comes from the way she feels around you. It comes from the atmosphere you create. If she feels relaxed, she opens. If she feels intrigued, she leans in. If she feels emotionally stimulated, she remembers you. If she feels safe, she becomes receptive. And the way you create that is not by trying harder. It's by being emotionally present and self-controlled. It's by holding eye contact without performing. It's by speaking slowly, calmly, with confidence. It's by teasing lightly without trying to impress. It's by making her laugh without seeking approval. It's by walking away without bitterness. It's by being warm but not chasing. The strongest emotional trigger is contrast. When she expects you to be like everyone else, needy, overeager, thirsty, desperate, and you are calm, respectful, and grounded, her brain notices. And when her brain notices, her emotions start waking up. Because the truth is, women don't desire the man who wants them the most. They desire the man who makes them feel the most. At the end of the day, you cannot talk a woman into desire, and you cannot chase your way into attraction. Desire is not something you demand, negotiate,